All right. Well, welcome to your introduction to Wyndham Connect hotel training. We're really excited to introduce you to this game-changing tool today. Please take a moment to review the legal disclaimer. As always, you're in full control of any decisions relative to your hotel. By the end of this session, you will understand what the new Wyndham Connect system is and how to access the system. You'll also learn how to effectively manage and interact with guests within the tool. And you'll also, for our hotel administrators, have one additional objective, which is to explore the timeline for activation, configuration task, and where you can go to get support. So here's a brief overview of the topics we'll explore today. Beginning with the benefits and basics, we'll then move into the mobile check-in process, upsells, checkout, messaging, and we'll finish with the hotel administration section. We'll start with a simple video to introduce you to a few of the great features you'll get from Wyndham Connect powered by Canary. And if you're not familiar with who Canary is, they are an industry leader providing simple yet robust tools to the hotel industry. Let's take a look.
The hospitality industry is going digital. Hotels are looking to technology to save money, increase revenue, and better serve guests. That's why hotels around the world are implementing contactless check-in. It's a great way to improve hotel operations and meet guest demands. In fact, 71% of guests say they're more likely to stay at hotels that use contactless check-in technology. That's where Canary comes in. It allows guests to check in without physically exchanging credit cards or waiting in crowded lobbies. With Canary, guests automatically receive a check-in link via text or email and can submit credit card details, upload IDs, sign forms, and even select add-ons or upsells directly from their phone prior to arrival. There are no app downloads or extra steps. It's that easy. During their stay, guests can purchase amenities and request services, making it a contactless way for you to generate extra revenue. And at the end of their stay, checkout is contactless too. Canary's contactless platform integrates with all major property management systems, and setup takes 10 minutes. It can increase revenue from upsells and add-ons by 25% and can decrease front desk work by 20%. Because it's so simple, easy, and secure, Canary is the top-rated contactless check-in solution. To improve the guest experience and your bottom line, visit canarytechnologies.com.
All right, so that gives us a great overview of what Canary is. So now let's talk through some of the great benefits that make this tool powerful for you. So the first thing is really saving time with this mobile check-in. You're going to lessen the wait time at the front desk and help reduce chargebacks with credit card and ID validation. Also, increase revenue potential with upsells. This is going to help you capture incremental revenue opportunities for guest benefits like early check-in, late checkout, and room upgrades. The next one is guest messaging. So really making it easier to respond to guest messaging, and you're going to be leveraging the power of AI. Help improve your online social reviews or OSRs and helping boost your online review scores by encouraging surveys for more satisfied guests. And last is really this mobile checkout functionality. Help receive notifications to help your housekeeping team turn rooms faster. So let's walk through what the guest experience is at a high level. And first, guests are sent an invitation via text and email to participate in an early check-in. Once they click on the link, that's going to open the mobile check-in. And this is where we're going to capture updated contact information, such as their phone numbers, email addresses, and address. Next, they're going to upload their government-issued ID. And then during this process, they're also going to have the option to upgrade their room or select upsell features or add-on features like early check-in. The guest then enters their payment information to complete the check-in. So in addition, the guests have the ability to message the hotel before, during, or even after their stay. And then last, the guest has the option to perform a checkout, indicating their departure time, and of course, providing feedback on their stay. All right, so now that you kind of have an idea of what some of the benefits are and some of the basic components, the first question you may be asking is around access to Wyndham Connect by Canary. So we've really tried to make this simple for you. You'll access Wyndham Connect from Wyndham Community under the Quick Link section, and the system is going to be called Wyndham Connect, and it's going to open a new browser on your workstation. So the first call to action is if you don't have Wyndham Community access, make sure that you speak to your manager today about getting access. All right, so before we go through before we provide a brief navigation, it's really important to confirm that you log in daily to your Wyndham Connect system after activation. And just like you keep your property management system open, you need to keep Wyndham Connect browser open at all times so that you can see and respond to guest messages as they come in. We also know it's important because if you miss this, you miss a pending request, and it, of course, can hurt your guest satisfaction. So now let's review a few of the basics of this easy tool after logging in. This is referred to as the check-in dashboard. Now, the check-in dashboard is going to give you a quick at-a-glance look at your hotel guest activity, specifically today's activity. And the first area that you'll notice are the side menu paths, including upsells, check-in, checkout, and messages. Now, these are your day-to-day sections that we're going to focus on. We're going to drill into each one of these throughout our session today. Just know that, these are going to be your primary tools that you're using to manage the day-to-day. Now, also the support icon at the bottom left of the screen is here to access live support right from the application. And the last thing to mention is if you click on your username, click the drop down under the user profile, you'll find an FAQ or frequently asked questions section, which will open up a support page from Canary with some tools, resources, document links, as well as your support numbers if you need help and support with your Wyndham Connect system at any time. All right, so let's wrap this first section up on the benefits and basics of Wyndham Connect by reviewing a few of the key best practices. First, ensure all of the hotel team members have access to Wyndham Community. Remember, this is how you're going to access Wyndham Connect. And don't forget to ask your GM for access today if you don't happen to have access to this already. And second, after your activation, log into Wyndham Connect daily when you're logging into your PMS. Just have this set as a separate browser that's active. All right, the first module we're going to focus on is check-in. And remember, this allows guests to check in seamlessly from their phone or from their desktop computer. And it's important to note that guests do not need to download this app or a separate app to use this tool. So it's going to be very powerful to be able to capture additional guests to be able to leverage this tool. Now, Wyndham Connect is set up with a two-way integration or connection to your property management system. And this is going to send arrival information to Canary, where we'll automatically create and send a check-in link to your guest as part of the integration. We'll retrieve the contact details in the guest profile, which includes the email address and the phone number associated to the reservation. Now we're going to use this information to email and text the guest a link 24 hours prior to the arrival date. And of course, if we have both an email and a phone number on file, we'll try to reach them both using both of these methods, right? We'll both email and text the guest a link to check in. If we only have one or the other, of course, we'll email or text the guest. And of course, if there's no contact information associated with the guest profile, we will not be sending a link to do the mobile check-in. Now, this integration allows reservations even booked on the same day of arrival, sending the check-in link soon after the reservation is confirmed. So before we review the steps you'll take, let's talk about the steps that the guests have to take in order to be kind of process on this. So we're going to quickly review the steps the guest takes to complete the mobile check-in via their phone or their computer desktop. So first, the guest completes and signs the registration card. And this is a standard template, but you may customize this with your hotel policies if needed. And the guest is asked if they want to enroll in Wyndham Rewards during this process. And I promise we'll talk more about that as well. Second, the guest will upload their identification. Now, Canary does multiple validations against this. It's checking if it's an official government issued ID. And then the last is they provide a credit card. Now, Canary automatically completes a fraud check on all submitted forms of payment. The fraud check includes address verification, CVC verification, card type, expiration verification, and also a $1 authorization just to confirm that the credit card is valid. All right, so this is what's referred to as the check-in dashboard. And the first thing to note is the search field allows you to search for a single day or a range of dates for the past or even upcoming guest. Now you can use the guest's name, phone number, or email in the search filter here. Now, the pending status indicates the list of guests who have been sent an invitation to their mobile check-in. Remember, the links are sent to guests 24 hours in advance of their arrival, or if it's a same-day booking, it's sent relatively as soon as Canary gets the booking, it's sent as well. Now, as the guests begin their mobile check-in, they'll move into a partial submission status, and this is going to populate the information they've provided. And then the completed submissions indicate that the guest started and actually completed the mobile check-in request. You'll click on the guest's name to open the record, and that will expand and show you everything you need to know about the mobile check-in. So let's explore the steps you'll take by selecting a completed submission. We really have made it easy for you, guiding you through the steps really at the top of the process. So the first thing is the guest's name and the reservation information are provided at the top. And if the guest provided a new phone number or email address as part of their arrival process, it's also going to be updated here, and it's going to be sent to your property management system. Once the room number is assigned, it's also going to update here, but please note the room number is never displayed to the guest at any point, as we know this is something that's subject to change. We want you to view and verify the guest ID. The hotel staff will be able to verify the guest name matches the reservation name and the name on the card submitted. Of course, if the guest's name or the name on does not match the reservation, it is recommended that you take additional steps to verify the guest identification in person during check-in, and of course, before keys are issued. The ID will only be stored on in the Canary dashboard for the duration of the stay. And after this, Canary stores the ID on a secure server that can be retrieved. If you need help, you can contact the Canary support teams for that. All right, so the third step is the credit card section, which indicates the fraud checks that have passed, of course, with green checks. And the hotel administrators will have the ability to click that show number option and view the full credit card. But for all other users, the credit card will be masked. And then your last step is just to verify that the name on the ID matches the name on the card. So you'll check this box once you've verified that. Now, if you see in the notes section a yes, this is an indicator that lets you know that the guest has requested to enroll in Wyndham Rewards. Now, we're going to drill down. I'm going to show you the actual registration card next so that you can see where this indicator is reflected as well. Now, here's the view of the registration card, and this is kind of the digital view that the guest saw as well. Now, Canary does store and display the guest registration card in the platform digitally, and the form is stored indefinitely, and it can be referenced or printed at any time if you need that for audited purposes. So notice the print option that's there will remain available to you at any point in time. Now, on the registration card, you'll view the selections that the guests made during their mobile check-in, including whether they selected to enroll in Wyndham Rewards, which you'll see a yes, along with any other special requests that are made. Now, this information is passed to the property management notes field, and the call to action here is that you will need to enroll them from your property management system in Wyndham Rewards. Now, the added benefit with this is powerful, right? It's not only going to help towards your enrollment target, but it helps the guest earn valuable points, creating loyalty, of course, with Wyndham Rewards. All right, so after you've viewed and verified the information, you're now ready to prepare the reservation for arrival in your property management system. This includes enrolling the guest if they requested to join Wyndham Rewards, reviewing any special requests, and preparing the room key. And after preparing for the arrival, then you'll come back into Wyndham Connect and click the Ready for Check-in button. All right, so after you've marked them ready for check-in, you're going to see the reservation move to the Ready for Check-in section. And this is your opportunity to recognize the guest by name upon arrival, easily view their picture from their ID, avoiding the need to request and view their ID again during check-in. And this is, of course, going to save you and the guest time by making it a seamless check-in experience. Of course, once the guest arrives, you'll collect the payment, check them in the property management system, and provide the keys to their room. Now, once that happens, the property management system is going to then send a status update back to Wyndham Connect to let the system know that they have been checked in. So that you'll see they'll move out of the ready for check-in into that checked in status. All right, so let's recap the steps you'll take in Wyndham Connect and your property management system to prepare for the guest arrival. So in Wyndham Connect, we want you to validate the submitted information, including the ID and payment method. Also, take a moment to review the special requests and notes, accommodate if possible, and the reservation will be in a pre-registration status in Opera or a pre-arrival status in Synexus. So you'll be able to see these statuses in your property management system. And of course, in preparation for their arrival, you'll prepare the keys for the guest. If they requested to enroll in Wyndham Rewards, you must process the enrollment from your property management system. And then, of course, finally come back to Wyndham Connect and click Ready for Check-in. All right, so as the final step, once the guest arrives, the first thing you're going to do, just as you do today, you're going to welcome the guest, but we want you to also acknowledge the mobile check-in, acknowledge that that's a step that they took, and you appreciate that. Process payment following your hotel's normal process. So please note for Opera, the credit card that they provided is going to be on window 3. So there are some options to move the credit card to window 1 if you want to do that, but just know it's going to be on window 3. And then for Synexus, the credit card actually be on the primary folio. And the last step is to provide the room key and give directions to the room, just as you normally do with all of your guest arrivals. All right, so that's the basics of the mobile check-in. Now, there is one other section I just want to quickly highlight, which is Insights. So when you click on the Insights option at the top of the screen, it's going to give you insight into how your hotel is performing from a check-in perspective. You're going to see your submission rate, the number of submitted registrations, how much guest contact information has been updated with this tool. So that's going to be a helpful tool to let you know you're getting more up-to-date contact information. The guest is also asked if how satisfied they were with the check-in process. You'll be able to see that rating. You'll be able to see how much time was saved. And then if they provided any check-in reviews, you'll be able to have visibility to that as well. Of course, you can modify and adjust the date range at any point and export the data to CSV with the export data button at the top of the screen. So all available and options to you to really drill down and understand the check-in screen. The one last note about check-in is that this data is not real time. So it's updated at 2 a.m. each night. So you'll be able to see yesterday's information or the past information. You're just not going to see same day information from the screen. All right, let's review some of the best practices. So first, take advantages of instances when guests are not in the lobby to action those mobile check-ins. Pay close attention to those special requests and Wyndham Rewards enrollment. Be sure to action these in your property management system. And of course, have a secure and designated area for keys to be set aside that have been pre-made for the guests who've completed their mobile check-in. All right, so let's do a quick knowledge check. The first question, after you've created keys for the guest, what button do you select in Wyndham Connect? Do you do keys given, ready for check-in, or processed? All right, I'm just going to do an on-screen review. The correct answer, I hope you got it right, is ready for check-in. That is the button that you're going to select. All right, the last question, or the second question, is what steps need to be taken when a guest requests to enroll in Wyndham Rewards during their mobile check-in? Do we enroll them in the PMS, enroll them in Wyndham Connect, or enroll them in eDesk within Wyndham Community? All right, I'm sure everyone's going to get this one right. This is enroll them in the property management system. All right, so thanks for playing along, and we have now concluded the check-in process. All right, another key attribute of this system includes the ability for guests to easily select upsells before or after their check-in. The guest can request additional items and view the status of their request as part of their contact list check-in. And using the same email address or phone number they used to mobile check-in, the guest can access this page at any time and request additional items at any point during their stay. All right, so there's two types of upsells, and the first one is room upgrades. The room type request allows the guest the option to upgrade their room throughout their stay. And then the second is what we refer to as add-ons. And these are specific items that can be added to the stay, such as early check-in, late checkout, or a pet fee if that's permitted by your brand. All right, so when a hotel receives a new upsell request, there's a couple of ways that you're going to be notified. The first is making sure you're logged in to Wyndham Connect for these notifications to be kind of heard and visually possible. So the first is a flashing indicator at the top of your browser. So if you happen to be in your property management system, that browser will actually blink to let you know that there's a new notification. You're also going to get a red indicator on the sidebar to let you know that there's upsells that have not been actioned yet. So in this example, we have 2 upsells that have not been completed. And then you're also going to get an auditory ding if the computer audio is enabled on the workstation that you're on. You'll hear a ding in the system as well. All right, so from the upsells dashboard, there's a few areas you'll notice, starting with new request. And this is going to provide a list of new requests grouped by the guest name. From the new request section, you'll notice a simple option to click the approve if this request can be accommodated. So it's just a click of a button. Or if the item is unavailable, you'll click the ellipsis and then click the deny item request option. And that will give you the option that you'll indicate the reason why you're denying it, right? So it gives you a couple of different options that are here. You can, if you say out of stock, it's going to prompt you. I'll actually show you a screenshot of that. It will prompt you and show you the time it's going to be back in stock. And then the other ones are there. It won't prompt you for a secondary option. But once you select it, let's say we use out of stock, it's going to ask you if you want to add an additional comment, and it's all optional. Then you click deny item request, and then it's going to ask when this is going to be back in stock. So it's going to then kind of retroactively, or it's going to go through and make this item available until the date that is indicated here. All right, so once you have completed, whether approved and denied the upsells, you'll click the done option and that will kind of close that request and move it to the past request section. Now, you can see if you fail, like requests will expire if they're no longer relevant. So an example where a guest requests a room upgrade, and let's say it's they requested it before their check-in, but you never actioned it and you never approved the upgrade, and now they've checked in, that request would expire, right? Also, all upsell requests, if they're never actioned, will expire upon checkout. We really don't want them to get to that point. We want you guys actioning these as soon as possible because it does communicate back to the guest whether or not that upsell was approved or denied. So it's just part of that guest cycle. We're wanting them to be able to kind of see what's happening and you can accommodate those requests when possible. And if you can't, then you simply click deny. Now you'll also have the ability to view your past requests just by clicking past requests. These are grouped by day. You can expand and view the details of your past request as well. And then just as we talked about in the check-in section, there is an insight section that kind of gives you insightful information about your upsells. Once you click this, you'll have the ability, now this is actually updated real time, so you'll be able to see daily, this week, this month are custom. So you can see you have some date options there at the top of the screen, but it's going to give you some revenue recap. So how much requested revenue, how much was approved, how many items, and what the approval percentage is. And then when you go down to the bottom, you'll be able to see some conversion metrics as well. So this can be really helpful to kind of pinpoint what is happening and what your overview is on your upsells. Of course, you can export this information to Excel as well if you want to drill down and understand or see the back end guest data that's behind this. You can also export it. Okay, so let's do a quick review of upsells. So be sure that you're reviewing upsell requests regularly, within an hour if possible, so that we can be responsive to those requests that are coming through and let the guests know whether or not we can accommodate them. Approve or deny in Wyndham Connect based on your availability, of course, to let the guest know if you can accommodate the request. And then be sure to fulfill the request, whether it's a room upgrade, an early check-in, or a late checkout. Confirm you and the rest of the hotel team understand which upsells have been approved and really work hard to try to provide those to the guest. All right, so let's cover a few basics of how these can be reflected in your property management system. Now, upsells will post automatically in the property management system. Of course, for add-ons, as we mentioned earlier, be sure to plan for those early check-ins, those late checkouts, those special item deliveries in advance, and communicate approved items to your hotel team. And then for room upgrades, this is important. You'll need to move the reservation to the approved room type and assign a room number. So since the upsells are going to post automatically, there really should be no added cost when you're moving the rooms. Now for Offer Cloud, when assigning the new room number, be sure to leave the checkbox unchecked for the update room type to charge, that RTC. On the reservation. This is going to be a pop-up display when you're moving to a different room type. And then for Synexus, when you're assigning the new room number, you're going to choose the select or search other room type and select the upgrade tab to be able to access that section for no added cost. All right, so once approved, the upsell will be applied to the reservation in the property management system. Now for Offer Cloud, the upsell will be set up as a fixed charge on the reservation. And we know that fixed charges are going to post automatically during the night audit. The benefit with this is you're going to be able to see the fixed charge component on the reservation in your property management system. So you'll be able to see that. And then of course, as you're running audit, those will be posted automatically. The one caveat on this is if you have upsells on departure date, you do need to plan to post those approved upsells to the folio directly. Because again, fixed charges happens during audit. So if you get something on departure date, just have that as an extra step when you approve the upsell, that you go into the folio and go ahead and just post that fee directly to the folio. Now, for Synexus property hotels, the cost is going to post to the folio automatically. And for reoccurring room upgrades, these are going to post during the nightly process with your audit. So they have a cycle that will happen, and those will actually post automatically on for the room upgrades. But for the remaining types of upsells, those will post directly to the folio as a transaction. And then, although of course this does not cover the full list of Wyndham Rewards member level perks or benefits, this list does show the items that guests can view when they're engaging through the tool. And it's important, of course, to deliver the benefits to Wyndham Rewards members based off their member level. Understand members have visibility to your available upsells, including late checkout, early check-in, and room upgrades. And when approving items based on their member level, remove the cost as there's no charge for the member level benefits, right? So if a platinum member requests an early check-in, you approve the early check-in, that's going to still go through. You're going to see that charge reflected, and make sure that you remove that either fixed charge or transaction that posted to the folio. All right, so guests will receive a notification letting them know there is an update to the request, and this will direct the guests back to the request page where they can view their new request status and the total they can expect to see added to their bill. So they're going to see this information right from either their desktop if they click on the link, or from their mobile app. All right, so we're wrapping up this upsell section. I wanted to just take a sneak peek into the property management systems on how you'll view check-in and upsells with a quick video. So let me play this video.
Hello, in this video we're going to be taking a look at what a submitted online check-in looks like within your property management system. Starting first with Opera, as soon as you open the reservation, you're going to receive a pop-up alert indicating that this guest has pre-registered using Canary Technologies. You'll also see that the reservation is in pre-register status. If the guest has submitted any new contact information or address information as part of their arrival process, we will also add that to the guest profile for you. If the guest made any special requests as part of their arrival, we'll add that on the reservation as a note for you. If the guest has any approved upsell charges, that will be added onto the reservation automatically as a fixed charge. Lastly, if the guest submitted a credit card as part of their arrival process, you will see that added on into the payment instructions section. In Synexus Property Hub, we'll see some similar information. The reservation will be in pre-register status. Additionally, any contact information submitted as part of the arrival process will be added on to the guest reservation. Any notes or special requests made as part of the arrival process will be added as an internal comment. The guest card will appear on the reservation. And if the guest requested any upsell items and it's approved, it will appear automatically as a charge on the guest folio.
All right, so hopefully that gives you, I know it's a very fast video, but it gives you some insight into how Canary is transferring this information that is happening in Canary and how that's going to be reflected in your property management system. All right, so let's review our best practices. First, review upsells and approve, deny within an hour of receiving the request. Communicate with housekeeping when an early check-in or a late checkout is approved. After approving room upgrades, be sure to move the reservation in your property management system to the upgraded room type and assigning a room number to them. And then, of course, know your Wyndham Rewards member levels and the available benefits. All right, so it's that fun time again. Let's do another knowledge check. First question, what step do I take after approving a room upgrade in Wyndham Connect? Do we A, post a fee to the folio for the price of the room upgrade? B, adjust the rate on the reservation to include the room upgrade? C, move the reservation to the new room type and assign a room number with no added cost? Or D, let the guest know at check-in the room is not available? All right, so I'm sure you guys all got this one right. It is C. We're going to move that reservation to the new room type. All right, last question on this one is guests know if we approve or deny an upsell request. And we just covered this, so of course they know. Yes, they know. They're sent a notification. All right, so that concludes the upsell section. Okay, so let's move to another feature allowing the guest to receive or to have a seamless mobile checkout experience. So we'll start with the guest view. Your guest will receive an email and a text message that looks similar to the images here. And the email will be customized with your hotel logo, images, and branding. And these messages will contain a link that your guest can click to begin the checkout process online. When the guest clicks the link, they'll have the option to select their departure time from the list going up to the hotel's normal checkout time. If the hotel has a late checkout upsell option, the guest will have the option to submit this request as well. And then the request will go through that same approval denial process that we covered earlier. Now, once the guest selects their departure time, they will be prompted to leave hotel feedback. And if the guest is marked or selects a 4 or a 5 star, they'll be prompted to leave a review on Google Reviews or TripAdvisor. And these buttons will lead the guest to the review page for your hotel. Now, if the guest selects anything below a 4 stars, they will instead be directed to a feedback box where they can leave a comment. And this comment is internal only and can be viewed by only by the hotel staff. This will also remove the buttons to leave the review on Google Reviews and TripAdvisor. So let's take a look in Wyndham Connect at the checkout dashboard. From the checkout dashboard, you'll notice the search field at the top, which allows you to search for past guests using contact data and the reservation departure date. Today's date will default, but you can click the arrow to view past or future dates. And on the main checkout dashboard, you'll see all of your checkouts populated under the created folder, and guests listed here have not been sent a checkout link. Now, your guest with an email or a phone number on file will automatically receive a link to check out online at 8 a.m. the day of their departure. So for example, a guest departing on Friday will receive an email and a text message at 8 a.m. on Friday. So once the checkout has been sent to your guest, it will appear in the sent folder, indicating that it's been sent to your guest, but not yet completed. And submitted checkouts will be displayed in the submitted folder. You can click on the record to view the details. And that's going to open up the full reservation information. You can see all of the guest stay information that was provided and scroll down to view the checkout information. So you can view the checkout information. You can view the checkout information along with any comments that have been provided. You can note the checkout time by the guest will deliver to your property management system departure time field. So that is something that is captured and delivered to your property management system. And then at or after departure time, you can review the comments, respond where appropriate, check the guest out in the property management system, send a folio if it's warranted. We know we have all different types of reservations, so really look at that reservation type and determine if that's the right one. Send a folio, and then come back here and click marked as processed. This removes it from the submitted section into the process section, so you don't have to worry about everyone's looking at all of the submitted checkouts. You'll be able to move this out of the submitted section. All right, so let's do a quick review. This was really simple, right? First, review submitted reservations and checkout times, evaluate ratings, comments, respond where appropriate, and then check the guest out in the property management system at or after departure time, and then click Mark as processed in Wyndham Community or Wyndham Connect once it's completed. All right, so similar to the other sections, we have insights for you on your checkouts. And in this section, this allows for you to view by a date range. You can view your guest rating, your checkout guest reviews, conversions for links that are sent for the completing the mobile checkout, and distribution of the checkout times. You can export the data in a CSV format. The other area that I really like about this is the preview of all the checkout guest reviews. So if you're wanting to see, oh, from last week, what were all of the reviews, this gives you the ability, and of course you can click the download option to export this information to kind of drill down a little bit further. All right, so we bring checkouts to a close. Let's review a few of the best practices. Review the submitted tab regularly to understand the checkout time and feedback. Review and action feedback regularly, and communicate with the housekeeping team departure times to optimize that room turnover, right? Okay, one more knowledge check. What status indicates the guest has completed a mobile check-in or a checkout? Is it created, sent, submitted, or processed? And the correct answer is submitted. And what step do I take in the PMS for guests who have submitted their mobile checkout at or after departure time? And I'm sure everyone has this one. Check out the reservation and send a folio if appropriate. All right, so this concludes the mobile checkout process. All right, the last key feature to share with you is around messaging, really designed to help you easily engage with your guest. All right, so guests will be able to text the hotel to ask any questions they may have, and this will be the same text thread where your guests receive their check-in link, checkout link, or upsell updates, etc. The guest does not need an active reservation to send the hotel a message. And any messages sent by the hotel appears on the guest's phone just as a normal text message. Guests are able to opt out of the message at any time by typing in quit, and they can opt back in at any time by replying start. And Wyndham Connect messaging has message intelligence, leveraging AI. So on day one, the system will have your hotel's basic information, but as you respond to messages, the system will continue to learn. And as the AI builds confidence in your responses, it's going to begin responding on behalf of your hotel. So let's take a look at the system and how you receive and respond to messages. So similar to the alerts you receive with upsells, you'll have the same alert when messages are received. When you receive a new message, the hotel will be notified with a flashing indicator on the browser. You'll also have a red indicator on your sidebar to let you know there's specific messages that have not been actioned, as well as an auditory alert on the browser if the sound is enabled on the workstation. And then on the left side, you'll view the full list of messages. And as you click into each, you'll have visibility on whether these are being responded by AI or if the hotel needs to respond to those. You'll also have the option to vote with a thumbs up or thumbs down on the AI responses. You can also toggle the AI off if you want to respond to the message. You can actually just toggle that AI option at the bottom off, and then your hotel could then respond specifically to that message. And then to respond to a message, type the response directly into the type message field. There's also an emoji option and the ability to attach a document with the paperclip. Now you can view guest details by clicking the information icon at the top of the screen. This is going to give you visibility to the guest information and their stay dates. And then if you need to step away from the front desk for any reason, you can toggle the message status to the await status so that the automatic message is sent to the guest. You want to make sure that you select online when you return to the desk so that you can begin monitoring those messages again. And then, of course, to initiate a new message to a guest, you can select the new message icon next to the guest record, really on any Canary dashboard, or you can select new message right from the messaging app to type in a phone number and to send a message. It's important to note the number does not actually have to belong to a guest to be able to initiate a new message. And if messaging a number outside of your normal country code, be sure to include the country code before entering or when you enter the phone number into the system. If you need to message a large segmented guest all at once, you can do so by using the broadcast tool. You can message all guests in-house. You can message all guests arriving for a certain date range or all guests that are departing. You can see those options on the screen. As an example, this may be used if you had service interruptions. Let's say that the water needs to be shut down or some type of service interruption that happens. This is a really good tool to be able to reach a large number of guests at once. And then similar to the other sections, you have insights to view for your messages. As with the other insights, you have the option to modify your date range, and you can view the total messages, number of messages sent, number of messages hotel staff sent, percentage of guests that have sent a message, your response rate, along with other metrics. So it's going to give you that visibility. All right, so let's review a few quick items. And this is a pretty short area, right? So first, it's just responding to messages as quickly as possible. The rule of thumb here is try to get to them within 15 minutes. And then, of course, be clear, concise, and professional when responding to messages. All right, our best practices is, again, our shortest topic, right? But we have one key best practice, which is to monitor and respond to messages regularly. Okay, and this concludes the messages section. Okay, so this next section is specific for a hotel administrator. So that's the GM or the owner for the hotel. So we're going to cover some of the configuration components and some of the items that you need to do to prep and get your hotel set up and ready to activate Wyndham Connect. All right, so remember you and your hotel team have access to Wyndham Connect from Wyndham Community. Access is automatically added to the general manager and owner at the completion of this training, and access does need to be granted to the rest of your team. So you'll do this, so be sure that your team not only has access to Wyndham Community, but you grant community access to Wyndham Connect by Canary within the user profile. So right under this access rules section, you'll see Wyndham Connect by Canary. Be sure to just check that box that gives them visibility and access to the system. And of course, if you're not sure how to do this, we're going to share a resource with you. It'll be attached to the playback link that will give you a quick guideline on how to set up new users as well as assign access points or grant community access to. All right, so as a hotel administrator, you'll be the first one to log into the system for your hotel, and a few items to be aware of. You will be prompted to review and approve the system's terms of use. You'll also be guided to update your custom hotel policy for your digital registration card if it's required. So as an example, you may have a special pet policy. This is where you could go in and update your custom policies. You'll also be guided to review and update your AI answers, and we'll cover that a little bit more, but that's in the messages section. And last, you'll need to review and manage your upsell configuration. Again, we'll go a little bit more in depth into that, but you'll want to make sure you take a look at what you have posted and available and in preparation for your activation. This cycle is going to take less than, I would say, 15 minutes, and at any point you may update these items after your activation, but we want to just kind of drill in and show you how you can kind of process, how you'll go through this process. So the first section that we're going to focus on is that custom hotel policy information for the digital registration card. You'll click on the settings option. And from here, the only access point you'll have on here is the registration card. All of the other access points are really kind of set up at the brand level. So the registration card is the section that you need access to and you will have access to. You click on that. And then from here, they've made it very simple for you. The first thing to do is to insert any hotel custom policy information, and you'll click save. Then you can do a preview over here of what the policy will look like in the phone. And then you'll click save, and then you'll be able to see a notification at the bottom on whether or not that has been saved. All right, so really, really simple. Hopefully that doesn't take you too much time. And now let's move into the next section, which is AI answers. So as a hotel administrator, you will need to review and update your AI answers in preparation for your system activation. And this just helps the AI be a little more powerful and responsive on behalf of your hotel. So the hotel basic information has been provided to Canary in preparation. However, we want you to review and answer any additional questions in preparation for your activation. You'll be able to kind of see how much percentage of completion you are at the top of the screen. You'll navigate, click on messages, then you'll have this option of AI answers, and then it's just a form that you'll scroll down and update the information and click save. All right, so the next section is going to focus on upsells. So we're going to navigate back to the upsells module, and as the administrator, you'll see the manage item option at the top of the screen. And as we reviewed in the upsell sections, there's two types of upsells. There's room upgrades and add-ons. So we're going to start with the room upgrades here. All right, so the rooms tab displays a list of your rooms and your availability. Rooms are grouped together based on bedding and pricing. And you'll notice here the room code in your property management system is the room type, along with the assigned upgrade tier. So you can navigate to the upgrade fees section to view the fee structure for your rooms. Base is the starting price point for your rooms, and the upgrade to next tier section indicates the added cost to move to the next tier. So in this example, the $20 upgrade fee to upgrade from the standard king to the executive suites. You can also at any point click on the little eye icon, and this will give you the full upgrade path. So if you want to drill down and look at that, you can certainly do that as well. And if for any reason you need to add another upgrade tier, you can see that you have the option to add your upgrade tier here. Rooms, images, details, and the upgrade path have all been pre-configured for you based on information provided by Wyndham initially for the Rooms tab. But from the Rooms tab, you can view and update if necessary by clicking on the pencil icon. If the room is not available or you have limited or no inventory, you simply click the available button to change the status to unavailable. And this removes the option from guests to request this upsell. And of course, upon completion, if this is not already toggled on, the room upgrade option, then you'll want to make sure that you toggle that section on as well. And that is going to activate your room upgrades upsells. All right, so let's quickly review the steps you should take to prepare for your Wyndham Connect activation date regarding room upgrades. We want you to review the room setup, grouping, and upsell path, update the availability of rooms in preparation for your activation, and toggle on the room upgrade option upon completion. And the last item is important to monitor your hotel room inventory and update this section regularly with available and unavailable room types. So if at any point, knowing that you're sending these, you're sending the mobile check-in links 24 hours in advance, you really going to going to want to pay close attention really for the next 2 days of your available inventory. And if at any point you have specific room types that are not available, you do need to come into Wyndham Connect and make those unavailable so that those offerings are not happening or not being provided to the guest. All right, so let's review at a high level the pre-configured upsells for your hotel. Starting with room upgrades, these are all going to be configured based on your current setup in our systems, and these are all going to be initially set as available. So again, reinforcing what we just talked about, making sure that you have some visibility and take just a few minutes to review what's set up and determine what you want to be available or unavailable. You also have early check-in, late checkout, very early check-in, and very late checkout. These are going to all be built for you as available. So we're going to ask you to evaluate whether or not you want those to be available or unavailable in preparation for your activation. You also have rollaway bed and pet fees, and these are set as unavailable. And breakfast is only created if your brand does not automatically include breakfast. And then it's set as unavailable, and a bottle of wine is created and set as unavailable as well. So there's additional upsells that are built for you, but these 4 below that we just talked about are all set as unavailable. And then there's up to 4 hotel specific add-ons pre-configured for your hotel. And of course, the number of hotel specific upsells vary by brand, but this just provides you some flexibility to customize your add-ons. And then to support the standard upsell codes, there are new transaction codes that have been added to your property management system. And these codes are specifically built to map to the upsells between Wyndham Connect and your property management system. You'll not only see new revenues reflected under these codes as the upsells are approved, but understand that these codes are built without taxing or fees in your property management system. So we do want you to review these in your property management system, update any taxing rules as appropriate based on the revenue type. And I will provide, or actually linked in the playback recording link as one of the resources, you'll see a full list of the new transaction codes that have been built so that you have visibility to those. All right, so if you scroll down to the manage items section, you'll find the add-ons section. And then to update the item as unavailable or sold out, you'll click the drop-down and select the desired option. When you select sold out, you'll be prompted to update when this item will become available. And when you just select the unavailable, you have an optional reason field that you can populate. For the early check-in and late checkout items, you have the ability to customize a schedule by clicking on the pencil beside the add-on. And then the setup of each add-on is really based on your brand, including times and images. It's also important to note that the code itself that you see on the screen must not be changed, as this is tied to your PMS integration. But if you want to update the schedule for your check-in and checkout add-ons, you can click on the day of week to turn off the day as being unavailable. And of course, click Save to complete. Now, the other add-ons have flexibility when to offer the add-on to the guest based on the stage or status of the reservation, including prior to or during the mobile check-in, during in-house stay, or during mobile checkout. So although these are all going to be preset for you, it allows you flexibility to determine the right time to offer this additional offering. So you have the flexibility to update these in preparation for your go live. So now that we've reviewed the standard upsells items configured for you, let's review how you can customize the hotel specific upsells. And you'll just start by clicking on the pencil. So you're going to update the title, description, price, availability, and image. So in this example, I've changed my hotel specific custom one to champagne and strawberries. I've added my description. I've put my price in here of $75. I've made this only available during the mobile check-in process, and I have uploaded an appropriate image, and then I click save. Now, there is one additional step that you'll need to take when you're getting these hotel specific upsells out the door and ready. It's really to update the transaction description so that when it posts on the folio, it's posting under the name that the guest saw in through their requesting process. So it is important in your property management system to go to the transaction code and update the description accordingly. All right, so let's quickly review the steps you'll take to prepare for your Wyndham Connect activation date regarding add-ons. So first, review the standard add-on list. Update availability based on your hotel offerings in preparation for your activation. And of course, if you're using one of those custom hotel specific add-ons, update that name, title, price, and picture in Wyndham Connect, and be sure to update the transaction code description in the property management system. All right, so let's review the next steps, right? So since your hotel has completed training, your property will be set to activate, if you're not already active, to activate in 7 days at the completion of the first training session. As a general manager or owner of the hotel, you can log in via Wyndham Community. You'll update your local custom policies for the digital registration card, update your AI answers, and validate availability of cells after receiving access. You'll communicate to the front desk team of the new system and the process and ensure that the front desk team have Wyndham Community access and encourage them to take training in advance. And then on your Wyndham Connect activation date, that happens at 10 a.m. hotel local time, the hotel is enabled. And at 3 p.m. hotel local time, the first arrival messages are sent to the next day's arrivals. And this concludes the hotel administration section. Okay, so we have reached the wrap-up section. So what we're going to do is review a few of the resources that are available to you that you can use on your journey to activation, and then just reinforce some of the support that's really there to help you through this process. So the first thing to mention is you can access Canary's frequently asked questions section directly from the page by clicking on your username and know that that information is there. Also, we have several resources that we'll share with you that will be linked as a document resource link in this playback recording. There'll be a single page document that you can use and download, and it has multiple links contained within. It has a journey that you can use to kind of track your activation, checklist, FAQs, quick start guides, as well as that lovely list of new PMS transaction codes that can help you in your preparation. All right, we also have resources in Wyndham Community under the resources and IT help section. And by selecting hotel resources, then select Wyndham Connect, you'll see that it will take you to where our resources are. And we're updating these regularly, so you'll be able to access these resources right from Wyndham Community. And then also, pretty new, we have a Wyndham Assistant for you to use. So if you use Wyndham Assistant in your property management system, you'll notice a similar experience in Wyndham Connect. That floating Wyndham Assistant widget is going to contain documents, a few guided workflows right now. We're going to be adding more and more, and then also some Canary videos. So, and if you don't have Wyndham Assistant, we have a great resource for you in Wyndham Community that you can use to download onto your front desk workstation. And then you'll have a powerful training tool, not only for your new Wyndham Assistant tool or Wyndham Connect tool, but also your property management system. And last, the great news is that you and your team have support through the activation cycle and beyond with Canary. They are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can contact them via email at support@canarytechnologies.com, or you can call them with the number on the screen, the 877-739-1545. You can also contact through our normal support numbers through Wyndham HTCS, and you'll select the option for Wyndham Connect Canary support. So know that you can reach them a number of different ways, but you'll get that great support each time if you need help and support along the way. All right, so let's review what you've learned today. So the first thing was you learned what Wyndham Connect system is and how to access it. Hopefully you feel comfortable and confident with that. You also learned how to effectively manage and interact with guests using this tool. And the last, for our hotel administrators, you learned the timeline for activation, the task to complete for activation, and where you can go to get support. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out to listen to this playback recording and to learn about this new Wyndham Connect by Canary tool. We hope you enjoyed it and that you have a fantastic rest of your day.